You've been waiting to get funky. If you've been waiting to get funky, ladies and gentlemen, I hope, I believe that it's time to get funky.
Hey, welcome to my Ortiz again. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Happy Tuesday to you. On Tuesdays we have all our deliveries, so
Today we were
running deliveries around Miami for wholesale customers, retail customers. We've still got a team here working in the tea room, so we might hear a little sound, we might get some interruptions or something. That's okay. And yeah, how you guys doing today? I thought it would be an interesting idea to show you guys a little something.
there's
The Dao De Jing is something that is a really cool piece of text.
a lot of people
Attribute a lot to it and kind of like worship it like a religious document, and there's obviously the whole religion of Taoism behind it. But I think that the text itself has a lot of really juicy meaning and a lot of really good interpretations. And part of what's exciting about it is how many different things the Dao De Jing can mean because of the language and how kind of symbolic the language and so forth. So I thought that it would be an interesting thing. I'm going to put something together real quick so that I can share a screen with you. Okay, guys? Just give me one really quick second, and we'll be right back. That didn't go as I was planning. I think like I'll show you what's going on here. So you see this text that's on my right side facing the screen. This website has a service where like if you bring your mouse over a certain word, it should automatically pop up with an exact definition of that word. I think that when I'm sharing the screen, because it's a pop-up, it's not coming up. So I think that I'm gonna need to like do a little quick kind of pivot, and we can still talk about Dao De Jing, but we're not gonna be able to go as in depth as I wanted to. I'm gonna put some more thought into it, so that when the next time I present this, it can be a little bit more in detail. Either way, let's get into some tea. So the tea that I wanted to drink today is called Mao Feng, and it's a green tea that is I'm really happy with this green tea because it's really easy to drink. It's kind of like our everyday green tea. So if you're looking for something that you like, a green tea that you could sip on, it's kind of friendly, and I'll show you what I mean by this here. This is the other tea that we're going to talk about today. But for the sake of this particular discussion, we're going to focus on the green tea. And green tea is something that I like to make in kind of like high volume. That's part of the reason that I brought this pot out as well, because I want to make some pu'er. And I also want to make some green tea. But as you'll see, green tea, in my opinion, is really kind of meant to be crushed. Like when you drink green tea, or when I drink green tea, I like to drink it I like to drink a lot of it. I don't like to just take a small little sip of the green tea and kind of spend a lot of time reflecting on the flavor profile. Whereas with an oolong tea, for example, or an aged pu'er, or even an aged oolong for that matter, after I drink the tea, I want to take some time and kind of sit on it and reflect on it, because with every passing breath, you're going to unlock more aroma. And as you unlock more aroma, you know, I always believe that tea is like the good friend, the dear friend of meditation, you know, in the sense that meditation is a contemplation of the breath, and when you drink tea, it paints your breath with deliciousness if it's good tea, you know. So now, but that being said, I think that green tea is a little bit more kind of like light and clean and forward in the flavor profile. So while there's still a lot of complexity in green tea, I still think that there's like it's still friendly enough and easy enough and clean enough that you can drink it in pretty big quantities. And I also want to talk a little bit about how you brew green tea. I want to recommend that you use a big glass teapot like this. I like this one a lot. This is our the pot that we sell at JoJo Tea at our website. I like it a lot because it's really round. And what I want to show you is here. This is something that we can do if you have a really round teapot. I want you to notice that I'm going to find one spot in the teapot, and I'm going to hit that spot with water, and that's going to cause a swirl to happen. And then that's going to guarantee that I'm agitating the leaves as much as possible. So check this out. The water here is about 81 degrees Celsius. See how I get like a nice swirl going on? And then now all the leaves are sitting right at the bottom. You can see there's kind of like a fuzz. There's air bubbles, but there's also kind of like small floating what looks like silver needles, or like tiny little needles. And those are crystallized antioxidants that's a part of the tea. So, you know, like Mao Feng actually means fuzzy tips, you know? And the fuzzy tips, the fuzz is talking about this part that if you look at the tea leaf, it looks like fur. It looks like white fur that's coming off of the tea leaf. But then when you brew it, all that fur comes off. It's really important to understand. And, you know, I think it's really important to understand like the tea that you're brewing as much as possible, because if you understand the tea that you're brewing scientifically and as far as its potential flavors go, then you'll know how to maneuver its brewing so that you don't over extract or under extract. See, when people ask me like, oh, how long should I brew the tea for, I always recommend that you use your eyes. You know, you can see how the leaf is opening up. You can see how it's kind of the leaves look bigger and they look more like leaves than they did when we first brewed this tea, right? Or when we first put the tea in the pot. Now already the leaves are opening up, and this looks like it's a good place to take a first brew. So let's sip this and see what it's like. Yeah, you always want to leave a little bit of water so that the tea leaf won't get dry and start oxidizing. That'll kind of change the flavor profile and make it a little bit more funky. So there's an announcement. There's an important announcement that I got to make. We got JoJo Jokes this Sunday. This week, actually tomorrow, I have a really special guest. Tomorrow, Kevin Benoit, who's one of the performers, one of the comedians that's going to be joining us. He's coming over to the tea room tomorrow, and he's going to be a guest on Mike Ortiz. And we're going to sip and we're going to chat, and it's going to be a good time. But yeah, if you're in Miami, we'd love to have you over. Maybe we can stream it live for the rest of you, though. That'd be pretty cool. You just won't be able to get the free tea-infused cocktails that come with the ticket at JoJo Tea this Sunday. I'm thinking about what kind of cocktail I make. I want to make something that's like, you know what I had? An idea. I want to make a peanut butter, like a Reese's peanut butter cocktail. And I think that I could do that with a black tea called Yunnan Gold and peanut butter and sugar and a little bit of lemon juice and maybe like a dark rum. And then like a touch of like Antica, like a really nice vermouth. I think that all of those together could make a really good cocktail. And then if you milk wash it, then that'll give it some of that nice flavor. We got. Okay, I'm here. Who's that? T-Let. Is that Elise? Yeah. What's up, Elise? Hey, welcome. We're talking about we're doing a stand-up comedy show this Sunday at JoJo Tea, and I'm gonna make a really dope cocktail. And I want to make this Reese's peanut butter cup cocktail, like a milk and peanut butter washed cocktail. This is gonna be dope. I have a good feeling about it. I wanted to talk today about Dao De Jing and Mao Feng Green Tea. So of course, like in the process, we're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. But something that's important, like to stay on the green tea for a second. Whenever you put a lid on tea while it's brewing, it's gonna kind of like brew a lot stronger, you know? Let me see what this says. Pour it on tap with nitrous. Yeah, but that's doing the milk punch is enough of a headache to put nitrous on it. I want to do it like a really elegant, kind of creamy but clear milk punch. Even I'm thinking with like chocolate syrup, you know? I think that'd be good. So anyway, let's talk about Dao De Jing for a second. I think that Dao De Jing is like one of the most mysterious books in the world. It's one of the most read books in the world. One of the most widely translated books in the history of the world. Big thanks to John Albano for this music, by the way. It's so good. So some like but it's often like translated in a bunch of different ways. And I thought that it would be interesting to kind of like do a deep dive into what Dao De Jing actually is. There's a lot of different versions and a lot of different translations, but the ancient text is like really simple, you know. And I don't have like I'm a Cuban idiot, so I have no credibility or authority on this subject. This is not financial advice. This is just a laughing gas. It's laughing gas so fun. Oh, word, good. Where's the Plastic Man HD? That's what I want to know. Joao's Bacalaos. Where's he at? A really quick note about this tea. Like, I was really happy when we first brought this tea on the Mao Feng. We brought it on in 2015, but it didn't really sell well. It was like our website wasn't really built yet, and in a way that we could kind of market directly to people. And there was one restaurant that started selling it, which but then that restaurant closed. So we didn't have a demand to carry Mao Feng anymore, and specifically Meng Ding Mao Feng. I don't think that our market was at the place that they understood the value of like of a tea like this to be able to drink on the regular, you know. So, but every time I drink it, it blows my mind. Like, this tastes like really, this is really good green tea, you know. It's got, like, when you first drink it, it's got a kind of like it reminds me of like a really soft, almost like the aroma of like a julienned green onion. You know, you just get a little bit of that sharpness, but you get like some roundness and some grassiness, some butter. It's got like, you know, it's not too watery. It's got a nice kind of substance to it as it goes down, almost like a coconut oil. Yeah, it's like buttered white rice with just like a really small hint of like a green herbaceous kind of grassiness. All right. So the opening lines of Dao De Jing, right? That's probably like as far as we'll get, because I think it's you know, you can spend your whole life just studying the opening lines of the Dao De Jing. So the opening lines are Dao Ke Dao, Fei Chang Dao, Ming Ke Ming, Fei Chang Ming. And that's just super interesting. All right, so what does that mean? Dao Ke Dao. Now let's switch over to the other view real quick. So this is what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to maybe scroll a little bit. All right. So, I'll just scroll that, right? There we go. All right. So I'm just focusing on this first, the part that says 1, the part that says the number 1. So this is the symbol for Dao. Dao is a big deal. That word is a big deal. Because Dao means, like, the literal translation of it is a way or path. It's a way in the sense that it's the way something is done. It's a path in the sense that it's something that can be followed, right? Now, what's interesting about the word, like especially in ancient Chinese, these words can be used as nouns, but they can also be used as verbs, right? Because the first line here is Dao Ke Dao. So what does Ke mean? We went over what Dao means, but what does Ke mean? So, as I understand it, what Ke means is ability, or to be able to, right? So, Dao Ke Dao means literally something like the way is able to the way, or the way able to the way. Because we notice that it ends with a comma, right? Not with a period. So this is just the beginning of the sentence. The way that can way. Okay, so then let's look at this, right? If the word way or the word path is a verb, what does that mean, right? So I would say that the verb of path would be like to follow the path, right? So if Dao is a noun, meaning the way, insofar as it's something that can be followed, then Dao Ke Dao, as a verb, it means something that can be followed in so much as it is a way. So the way that could be weighed, the path that could be traveled, the path that could be walked upon, the path that can be taken, the way that can be taken as a way, Fei Chang Dao. As I understand it, one of these two, Fei, I believe means like eternal and unchanging. No, I'm wrong. Fei means eternal, I believe. Nan. Hey, Nan. I guess we're home. So, Fei Chang Dao means like Fei means negation, that it is not. And Chang, yes, that's right. So Fei means is not. Chang means eternal, ultimate, unbroken, right? So Dao Ke Dao, Fei Chang Dao means the way that can be weighed, the path that can be walked upon, the path that can be taken, is not the eternal path, right? The way that can be taken is not the eternal way. The path that can be walked is not the eternal path. Then the next sentence is Mian Ke Mian, Fei Chang Mian. So it's very similar. We have Ke and Fei Chang, and the same repetition. But Mian means a name or a character in Chinese. Like every word is called is like a mian. And like if you ask somebody what their name is, it's Ni Shema Mian Zi. Mian Zi is name, right? Shema is what, and Ni is you. So Ni Shema Mian Zi. So okay, if Mian means name, and just like we did with Dao, we have to do the same thing with Mian. That is, what does name mean as a noun, and what does name mean as a verb, right? So Mian Ke Mian means the name that can be named, the name that can be spoken, the name that can be labeled. Fei Chang Mian is not the eternal name, right? So the way that I see this first little stanza is that it's like Dao Ke Dao, the way that it can be walked, the way that it can be taken, is not the eternal way. The word that can be spoken is not the eternal word. And, on the surface, that's like a simple eternal, even it's like I don't think it captures it. So let's say maybe the way that it can be taken is not the eternal way. It's not the it's not the ultimate way. The way that can be taken is not the ultimate way. The path that can be taken is not the ultimate path. At any given moment, the thing that you can do is not the ultimate thing. It's not gonna solve all your problems. There's no magic pill. There's no magic bullet. The way it can be traversed at any given moment is not the ultimate undying big bad intergalactic ultraviolet way. In the same way, the name that can be spoken, or the name that can be named, is not the ultimate ultraviolet undying word, an ultraviolet undying name. So what does that mean, right? It's like, I think that it's, I think of myself as a pretty good communicator often, you know. Sometimes I think that I'm a really good communicator. And then sometimes I think that I'm like useless. Especially in work, you know, with my team, sometimes I feel like I communicated something, but then the next day I find that they were under a completely different understanding. And, you know, ultimately, whenever we communicate anything, right, we're like feeling something, we are cognizing it in the moment, we're using symbols and our past experiences to make context for it, and then hopefully we're using that context to guide our decisions moving forward, right? And I think that it's important to realize that even, for example, like, I love you. I think that love is like, you know, I love you. It's a big word. It's a big thing to say. What does that mean when you tell somebody you love them, right? And I think that ultimately, if what you're communicating to them is that, you know, that you feel warmth with them, that you feel connection with them, that you recognize something in them, that you feel at home with them, that you would never want any negative thing to fall upon them. In fact, quite the opposite. You want the best possible things to happen to this person, right? I think that's love, right? But that, like all of that intention and all of that energy and effort and desire to do whatever you can to make that person's life better, right? That is one thing, and then the sound "I love you" is a completely different thing, you know, and like the words and the ideas are a completely different thing, right? So it's like ultimately, no matter what we're trying to communicate, even in the best case scenario, you know, unless you can like invite the person into your heart and mind and spirit and body, it's going to be impossible for you to fully, it's impossible to fully communicate, you know, how we feel and what or what we think for that matter, right? Because what we think is tainted by how we feel and how we breathe and our attention and body and our environment. So the word that can be spoken is not the unchanging word. That's it, unchanging. The word that can be spoken is not the unchanging word. And the way that can wait. I think that like, especially coming from Judeo-Christian culture, right, where we believe that like, or we were taught, I should say, we were taught that the spirit and the soul kind of controls the body in the way that a machinist controls a machine, but it exists outside of that body, right? It creates a kind of like mechanistic understanding of reality, where it's like, oh, well, once I build the right machine, then it'll make money and feed my family and keep everybody happy, and then I can retire or relax. You know, there's like that beautiful American dream of retiring and getting fat and having nothing to do, or just fishing or whatever, I guess, you know. But the word that can be spoken is not the unchanging word. But the path that can be taken is not the unchanging path. Like the only thing that we know for sure is that things are going to change, right? No matter what. And that as things change, we are going to change because the environment changes. So then we're going to need to be able to adapt accordingly. You know, if Miami is underwater, all those marathon runners are going to need to be better swimmers than runners, right? To exaggerate. So, I think that this isn't even the first chapter of the Dao De Jing. This is basically like the first verse of the first chapter. And I wanted to go over it together and kind of break down the characters bit by bit, because I think that it's a really misunderstood book. And I think that if we can, what am I trying to say? If we can, like, taste just a fraction of the meaning behind Dao De Jing, and if we can use Dao De Jing as like a scope through which to view our own lives, then I think that we are making the most use out of like this unique moment in history. You know, never in the history of humanity have we had access to the world's wisdom. You know, like the monks of ancient China and ancient India had to meditate for years, and go on retreats for years just to be able to glance at the texts that we can access at any given time. So it opens as a question of our intellectual curiosity, and this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. You know, because I think that I had kind of grown distrustful of my own intellect in a certain way, as a kind of misunderstanding of the things that I learned while studying Buddhism, and then as a misunderstanding of the lessons that I learned on crazy acid trips in college. You know, I felt like the conceptual mind, like the job of the conceptual mind is to think. So the conceptual mind is always going to be thinking, and it's always going to be generating thoughts and trying to break stuff down. But the heart and the emotional reality and the spirit and the intuition and the impulse is like the juice of life, is where the magic happens, is where the moment is most beating in its rawness and in its moment to moment unfolding. And I think that in a misguided effort to try and be as closely aligned with the spontaneous dynamic unfolding of the moment and the appropriate impulses and opportunities associated, I try to kind of purposefully not cultivate intellectual capacity and intellectual curiosity. So today I find that I have a low stamina and a low endurance for intellectual curiosity and for reading and studying and so forth. And I want to change that about myself, because I think that, I think that it was a misunderstanding. You know, I think that we need we need an integrated mind-body organism with spirit and body and mind in one unit. And I think that it's like the head sits on top of the body for a reason, directly above the heart for a reason, right? Because the heart and the impulses are wild and beautiful and magical, and they provide the opportunity for magic. But then at the same time, they can also get us into a lot of trouble if our rational thinking mind is kind of kicked out in the hopes of finding beauty, right? But if we can find a beauty that's like fully in line with the rational and analytic mind, then we've got something. I think that that's like, you know, the classics. That's like Shakespeare, you know? And I think that, I speaking for myself anyway, like, I think of art as like, the art that I've come to enjoy the most is really subversive, you know? I like the idea of pushing boundaries. I like the idea of building something up and breaking it down. And I like the idea, I like iconoclasm, you know? I like encouraging people to think of things in different ways, because I think that it opens up different like neural pathways, which then open us up to different experiences in reality. And that ideally will open us to more dynamic experiences and more like to more dynamic experiences and to more viewpoints and worldviews without a good bunch of worldviews to kind of synthesize. I think that we're limited, right? Like we were talking about yesterday. Without like, if you're purely viewing things from a mythic worldview and it's purely all about what Jesus wants, you know, then you're missing the real breakthroughs of science that have happened and that have cured diseases and that have saved countless lives and that have made electricity available to all of us and that have gotten rid of slavery. You know, like it wasn't until we had the Industrial Revolution that we got rid of slavery. So, I mean, again, your religion can be great, and if you're an honest practitioner, God bless you, rock and roll, have a good time, you know. But if that's your only worldview and you're missing the rational and the pluralistic, then you're gonna end up in conflict. I think, you know, as we talked about yesterday with the culture wars. Then the same thing if we talk about the rational view, you know. If it's like overextended, then we believe that the world is scientific, like and following rules like a good machine. And the world doesn't give a fuck about our rules. Unless it's a scientific law. I think I'm getting, the music is getting funky. Let me see if I can try and fix this real quick. Alright, I think it's okay. Hey, what up, Ernie? Thanks for tuning in, man. I'm sorry I saw your comment a little late, but thanks for tuning in, brother. Cheers. I want to do a quick checkup on the chats. All right. So I'm just rapping. I'm just talking. We got JoJo Jokes on Sunday, and I'm doing another set. Been having a lot of fun doing stand-up. I just like to talk about Miami and growing up in Miami and growing up Cuban in Miami and how funny it is. I think that, like, we have a crazy culture, us Miami Cubans, you know? As I read Dao De Jing here. Oh. I think I might be overloading the computer with too much processing power. I process stuff mad hard. Yeah. You see that? Is that? I don't know if it looks all funky on your end, but it looks like things are going crazy on my end. There's chaos. There's chaos happening in the control room. Too much juice. So, I've only got like 15 minutes left. That's not enough time to get a... Well, actually, yeah, it is. That's enough time to get a few good brews of pour in. This is a pour that's going out in our subscription in the JoJo Club. And I want to just drink it as much as I possibly can. Because it gives me like a... I want to have a... Okay, here's the deal. When you first drink a tea, it's just like a very basic introduction to what that tea can taste like and how that tea can make you feel. But as you brew it more and more, the tea starts to kind of like open itself up a little more, right? The first time you taste it, you taste a certain percentage of what the tea can be. But as you continue to taste it, the tea kind of starts to tell you more and more every time that you taste it and every time that you drink it. That it might be purely a flavor thing. It might be an aromatic thing. It might be it might have to do with the way the tea makes you feel. Not enough tea. Oh. All right, we got echo, lag, and static. Kicking ass. Elise, thanks for helping me out with notes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. Things are getting their asses kicked on this computer here. Let me see if it's getting any better. Not enough tea. That's right. That's probably what's going on. There's just not enough tea being drank quite yet. Work on that. Hey, there we go. I think we had a loose connection in the USB. No, because it's still fucked up. Whatever. Let's just drink some tea. So already we can see how much I don't know how much it's lagging, but we can see how much the leaf has opened up, right? From the first brew that the leaves were really, really tiny, still kind of dried up. Here we can see how much the leaves have opened up already. Okay. All sorts of problems going on today at the tea house, at the tea room. You see, like, as I was talking about the way that you can brew a tea multiple times and it opens up in different ways, I was I have an idea. So as I was thinking about brewing the pour, I decided to brew the green tea again. Remember, I was like, oh, there's only 15 minutes left. I don't know if there's enough time to go into a whole new tea, right? And then I talked about how sometimes you brew a tea multiple times and it tells you more and more as you go. And I realized that I had this beautiful cup of Mao Feng, this beautiful pot of Mao Feng sitting here, and I hadn't brewed it, a second time. It's like I said, for some reason I don't gravitate towards green teas, The green tea tastes almost like, I don't want to say brothy. It looks like what's happening on screen is an absolute mess. I don't know why this GoPro is giving us so many problems. You know what? Maybe I'm going to get rid of this secondary camera, guys. It's kind of driving me crazy. There we go. Alright. So, yeah. That was weird. Sorry about that. Let's do a little something real quick. I'm going to bring the camera a little closer. Here. Let's do a really quick break, and we'll be right back after this news from Cheech and Chong's Maria Betancourt party. Back up close and I'm personal with the JoJo. Something going on. Something crazy. I wonder why it's playing like this so bad. Well, we'll work on it. So, is there anything else going on this Tuesday? We got Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. You know, Andrew Cuomo looks so much like the bad guy from The Mask that I feel like I was late to the party. I wish that I would have announced this earlier, because now I'm seeing all these memes pop up, and I feel like he's looked like the bad guy from The Mask for a long time, and that's just it just is what it is. The guy looks like the bad guy from The Mask, and I wish that I would have gotten the word out sooner, because now everybody knows. And you know, it's like when you have an original idea, you want it should be recognized. So